Hi, my name is Ivan Alter, and I'm a mediator and collaborative lawyer in Westchester County, New York. And I want to talk a little more today about the use of consulting attorneys in mediation and why it matters. I had an experience today that I thought would make a really good topic for a discussion and that you might find interesting. So a client called who had completed a mediation and wanted me to review their agreement. And they had it reviewed prior to my seeing it by a family member who was a litigator. And the litigator went crazy over some of the clauses in the contract. Specifically, my client, who's the father, is paying child support at a rate that's substantially higher than what the New York State guidelines would normally indicate. And the relative, who was a litigator, thought that this was a terrible idea and that he needed to scrap the agreement and start from scratch. So the nervous client asked me, am I making a terrible mistake? Is my relative right? And I asked him, I said, well, why are you doing that? Why are you deciding to pay the amount that you've decided to pay? And he said, well, because I really want my wife and kids to be able to stay in the house that they're in. And the only way they can afford to do that is if I make my support payment match the mortgage payment, because otherwise they're going to have to move somewhere and all of them uproot their lives. And I said, and is that important to you? And he said, yeah, it's really important to me. I said, is it more important to you than is paying the guideline support as indicated by New York State? He said, yeah, of course it is. I said, so I guess you have your answer. And he said, so you're not going to tell me that I have to rewrite the agreement and that I'm being stupid? I said, no, that's not my job here. And that's why it's really important when you do get a review attorney, a consulting attorney, to get one who understands mediation. Because if he had listened to his relative, he would have thrown out all the work he did in mediation, started over, and for what? So that he could frustrate his own important purpose of keeping his wife and kids in the house until they were out of school. But by talking to an attorney who understands and respects the mediation process, he was able to get clarity on the decision he was making, understand, how it differed from the law, and make the decision that he wanted to make that was consistent with his own goals and ideals. So if you or someone you know is engaged in the mediation process, I would urge them not only to get a consulting attorney, but to be sure they get one who understands and respects mediation, because otherwise they could end up doing more harm than good. So thanks for listening. My information is on the screen.